begin to be the same, and how he went through the same things we go through, and how he goes through those same temptations that you and I go through. And yet, when we look at it and we explore the idea of how his life is different from ours, one of those things that sticks out is the glaring of the miracles that he does. A miracle is an interesting thing because you and I have called things in our lives that happen on a natural basis miracles. I was his senior, I think it was senior in high school, Miss Camp's class, and she showed us the miracle of birth. By the single worst film ever, by the way. That's not a miracle, it's super gross, and that's just where it is. Those things are not the miraculous. Every baby, with the exception, every baby, I was going to say with the exception of Adam and Eve, but they weren't babies, were they? Every baby's been born the same way. It's that exact same way. And so when we look at those, we might not really understand those, but they don't really fall into the level of miraculous. But what you have Jesus doing is healing people in towns in which he's not even in. You have Jesus manipulating what we would call the natural in order to prove the supernatural for an express reason. And that express reason is so that folks will listen to him. As a matter of fact, every miracle that's been done from God, every miracle that's been done is from God and has been done in order that the listener will listen to the message. That's the only reason. There's never been another reason why. Look in, if you will, at John chapter 11. He's there at his friend's tomb. He's there and he walks up to that tomb door and says, "Lazarus, come forth." Was that for the benefit of Lazarus? No. Lazarus, from all we can tell, lived a faithful life to God. Where was he? And Jesus the Christ called him back. You think that was a benefit for Lazarus? Consider this for just a moment. Lazarus coming back now has the opportunity to be disobedient. And so when those miracles are performed, they're performed so that the person seeing them will listen to the message from God. When you and I began to look at these miracles of Jesus, we began to look really in John chapter 2. And Jesus came into his own, and his own received him not. His own people, the Jewish people, yes, but take that a little further or closer to Jesus the Christ. How many of you have a brother? I don't, but let's suppose I do. How easy would it be for you to say, yeah, that sounds about right, if someone were to come to you and say, you know, your brother is the Messiah? I don't know about that. Do you know my brother? I don't know about that. Notice as he comes to his own, and his own don't receive him. As a matter of fact, it will be further down the road past his death that you would read about James and you would read about Jude, who would not call themselves the brother of Jesus, but rather the servants of Jesus and the brother of each other. An interesting idea. Notice this. Here's a side note for you. When these miracles are put into this book, the Holy Spirit chooses to confirm through the Word